Let's talk about a number that is way more important than you think. What is your time really worth? No, I mean, what do you actually make per hour? We are about to figure out a number that could totally change how you look at your job, your career, and maybe even your free time. This isn't just about a number on a paycheck, it's about knowing your true value. All right, let's just throw out a common salary. Say you make $50,000 a year. Quick, what's your hourly rate? I bet a number just popped into your head, right? Well, what if I told you that number is almost definitely wrong? Yeah, let's dig into why. So here's the back of the napkin math pretty much everyone does. You take 40 hours a week, multiply by 52 weeks in a year, and boom, 2,080 hours. You divide your 50 grand by that, and you land at around 24 bucks an hour. Seems logical, right? But that's the problem. It's too simple. And those quotes around answer are there for a very good reason. Okay, so if that's not the real number, what is? To get to the truth, we have to start poking some holes in the big assumptions we all make about our work. And trust me, this is where it really starts to get interesting. First thing on the chopping block, that big, round 2,080-hour work year. It's a nice, clean number, for sure. The thing is, it's just not real life. Okay, get ready for a little bit of nerdy trivia that messes up the math right away. Ever think about leap years? Yeah, probably not. But because they exist, the average year is actually a little bit longer, which means you're technically working a few more hours than that neat 2080 number. It's a small detail, but it's our first clue that our starting point is already a little off. But honestly, forget the technical number. The real number, the one that actually matters, is way lower. Because what haven't we counted yet? Holidays, vacation, paid time off. Once you start subtracting all the time you're paid to not work, the number of hours you're actually on the clock drops like a rock. So let's just look at an example. You start with the total possible workdays. Then you start pulling stuff out. Knock out the federal holidays. That's about 11 days gone. Take away the average amount of paid vacation. Another 10 days. Poof. All of a sudden, you're looking at a much, much smaller number of hours. This is the time you're actually at your desk doing your job. It's a completely different ballgame. And just look at what this does to your hourly rate. Using that mythical 2080 number, you're at about 24 bucks. But when you use the hours you actually work, which is closer to 1920, you jump up to over $26 an hour. That's a real difference. And it's not a trick. It's just a more accurate picture of what your time is truly worth. Okay, so we fixed the hours part of the equation. But what about the other side, the money? Because you guessed it, what you think of as your pay might not be what legally counts as your compensation. It's a little more complicated. So there's this official government thing, the Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA, and it has a very specific definition for something called your regular rate of pay. This is the number that matters for stuff like calculating overtime. And here's the kicker. It's supposed to include all forms of compensation, not just your base salary. So what does that mean? Well, think about that bonus you get every year for hitting your targets. That's called a non-discretionary bonus, and yep, it has to be included. Same goes for any commissions you earn, or if you get paid a little extra to work the night shift. All of that gets bundled into your total pay. But here's where it gets kind of weird. What's not included? A lot of the things we really value, that surprise Christmas bonus your boss gave everyone, that doesn't count. Your vacation pay? Nope. Reimbursed for a work trip? Excluded. Even huge things like the company's contribution to your health insurance or retirement plan, they're not part of this specific legal calculation. And yeah, neither is the free office coffee. Okay, so all this is great for a standard salaried job. But what if that's not you? What if you're a freelancer or you work on commission? Well, the same basic ideas apply, but how you get to the number is totally different. It's really a difference between a top-down and a bottom-up approach. As an employee, you start with that big salary number at the top, and you divide down to find your hourly rate. But as a freelancer, you have to start from the bottom. You have to build your rate up from all of your expenses just to break even. Yeah, for a freelancer, this is not just some fun exercise. This is survival. The first question isn't, what do I want to make? It's, how much money do I need to live and run my business every month? You have to factor in your own taxes, health insurance, software, rent, everything. It all has to be baked into a rate. And the law has all these other little rules too. If you're paid on commission, it legally counts in the pay period you earned it, not when the check actually clears. If you're a piece rate worker, it's about total earnings for the week divided by hours worked. It can get complicated, but it's all designed to make sure things like overtime are calculated fairly. So, why are we doing all this math? Why does this even matter? Because knowing your real hourly rate is not just for curiosity's sake. It is a seriously powerful tool. It can literally help you make better, smarter decisions about your career and your money. Think about your next pay negotiation. Instead of just walking in and saying, "I'd like more money," you can be strategic. You can come in armed with research on what the market rate is. You can show them hard data on your performance. You can even time your request perfectly. When you know your true worth, you negotiate from a position of strength, not hope. At the end of the day, that's the whole point. Knowing this number is the key to making smart choices. It helps you compare job offers, figure out your budget, and truly understand the value of your time. And your time is the one thing you can't get more of, so knowing what it's worth, that's everything. So now you know. You have the tools to figure out the real value of your time. The only question left is, what are you going to do with that knowledge?